Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this beautiful campsite at about 10,000 feet in the snowy range of southeastern Wyoming. I'm a little bit north of the Wyoming-Colorado border, and I'm west of the town of Laramie, Wyoming. I'm going to be staying at this campsite for a few nights. Let me show you around. So first of all, the main dirt road that goes through the area is over here, and I was driving along that road looking for campsites, and I looked to my right and I found this spot. It's not super flat. You can see that the tent is at an angle a little bit. My car is parked at a fairly level spot, so that's good. But this is all sloping over here, but it's okay. I don't really need any of that space. And yeah, I set up a tent here because I am going to be here for a few nights. And I wanted to set up the tent as kind of external living space, but then also as just sort of a placeholder, so I can leave the tent here and then go off and run errands and go on adventures and then come back and spend the night here. This is a like $30 Walmart tent that I don't feel bad about leaving out, and I bought it specifically for this purpose. I've had it for a few years. I bought it to leave at campsites to kind of save my spot when I'm out doing things. So let me show you what I have going on inside here. Not a whole lot. I have a camp chair, and I can sit there and my head doesn't touch the top, so that's nice. And then I have a little camp toilet right there, and my laptop is out. I was doing some work on the laptop earlier. And yeah. And so the thing we're going to do tomorrow involves driving 2 or 2.5 hours from here into Colorado. I'm going to wake up at about 5 o'clock tomorrow morning and drive the 2 or 2.5 hours to Loveland, Colorado, which is a little bit north of Denver and south of Fort Collins. And we're going to be attending Overland Expo Mountain West. And that's what the majority of this video is going to be. Overland Expo is an outdoor event, an expo that has classes and activities, vendors, food, drink, all relating to overlanding and van life and that sort of thing. So it should be really interesting. The one that I'm going to is called Overland Expo Mountain West. That's the one that's held in Colorado every year, but there's Overland Expo West in Flagstaff, and then Overland Expo Pacific Northwest in Oregon, and then there's one in the east in Virginia or North Carolina, somewhere over there. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I don't really know what to expect apart from what I just mentioned, the classes and the vendors and everything. So we're just gonna take the camera and wander around, and I'll show you guys what I think is interesting. So I'll see you there in about 13 hours, bright and early. Okay guys, welcome to Overland Expo. I've been here for about an hour. I've been wandering around just wanting to get the lay of the land, see what we have here, and there's a lot. So first off, we have a lot of these like super hardcore multi-$100,000 overlanding rigs. There's this one right here. We have this one right here, built on various frames, various platforms. And check this guy out. Just amazing. Not super interesting to me because I will never be able to afford one of these, and even if I could, I don't think I'd actually buy one, but they're fun to look at. Cool bags of various kinds. These are handmade in Colorado. Really nice quality. I think these are sling bags, and they've got backpacks and over-the-shoulder bags. And we do have food here. There's a little crepe wagon, and then some, this isn't food, but we have some medical kits for sale over there. Look at this thing. This is like 20 feet tall. That is massive. But then you have stuff like this too, this cool old Land Cruiser with this little trailer being pulled behind it. At the fairgrounds here, look at all of this, just rows and rows. It feels like miles and miles of tents and displays. It's pretty neat. Kind of overwhelming, but pretty neat. This is a pretty cool rig. Got a Tacoma here. Rooftop tent and lots of storage underneath. These guys are Lone Peak camper, starting at about $6,000. And there are, probably hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of rooftop tents here. Lots of little campers to pull behind. Here's a cool 80 series Land Cruiser right here with a rooftop tent on it. And I like this thing. This is huge.
You can plug a solar panel into it, and all those solar panels, like
this is awesome. Big seating area. Well, not big, but a seating area for a few people. Little kitchen, and then a huge bed. This is 30 grand. At a Big Agnes display here, they sell down gear, 10 sleeping bags, stuff like that. Check this out. This is one of those 270-degree awnings, but it has a tent attached, and it is just huge. You could hold a family reunion in this thing. Lots of companies that do modifications and upgrades for vehicles, like these guys, Mountain Yodas, got this huge Tacoma with giant tires on it. And look at this, we have a Lexus booth, and this looks like the equivalent of one of the new Land Cruisers, which I've also seen around here, which I'll also show you guys. Looks like it's a GX 550. Got a trailer to hold your motorcycle with a rooftop tent on top. Here we have one of the new 2024 Land Cruisers. Never seen one in person before. Nice looking rig. And this heavily modded beast next to it. Is this a Lexus or is this a 4Runner? I'm not sure. Big truck, big old diesel Dodge Ram. The big old rooftop tent on top. This is a camper on a side-by-side. That's awesome. Complete with a pull-out fridge and storage system right here. Never seen anything like that before. So next to the vendor section across the way is the camping section. So you can, as an attendee, camp on the grounds here. I think the ticket that I paid for was $39 for a day. And then they have a different version that has camping included. So that's what all these guys are doing. I've seen this guy online before, Overland Gear Guy. American-made custom overlanding gear. Let's go take a closer look. We've got seat bags here. A couple different sizes and styles. And they have custom-made ones for stoves. And a Mr. Buddy heater. And then seat back bags also. Utensil organizer. And check this out, this series of bags that go on top the spare tire. This is called a Wander Box, starting at $2.99. It is huge. Looks fun though. This is the Gazelle tent area. I've talked about getting one of these in the past. These are pretty nice instant setup, more or less instant setup overlanding tents. Never seen one in person before. I love this. I need a new spare tire cover for the RAV4. It got cracked because an Amazon delivery van hit it. Long story. But this has a nice big pocket out here. I don't know if if they make these in the right size and the small enough size for a RAV4, but I do like that. And it's not all Jeeps and Toyotas. We have a cool Defender over here. Don't see too many of those in this part of the world. This is awesome. Check this out. This is Topper Tent. They have a little tent that goes in the back of your truck if you have a little topper on it. I wonder if this would work on the Land Cruiser. So the Land Cruiser has a tailgate and everything. That is cool. Yeah, I just talked to the guy. They're working on ones for SUVs. They currently only have truck ones. They run about $315, which I think is pretty reasonable for a made-in-America piece of gear like this. We've got a line of pack rafts here from Kokopelli Pack Rafts. I actually own one of these, the two-person one, which is not out here. Look at this. This is a cargo box with some solar panels built in. I saw one of these earlier and it was, I think, $4,000 or $5,000. Pricey, but neat piece of gear. It looks like if you are a Ram person, they have a little closed course over here. You can test drive some of their trucks. Really, it's just like every conceivable kind of truck camper, of rooftop tent, of camper, like all kinds of pop-ups and pop-outs and pop-overs, everything. A couple of earth roamers, absolutely gigantic vehicles. And check this out, we have a twofer here. Look at this beautiful 1986 Land Cruiser, same year as me. And then, this is cool, it's like a half size, a half width rooftop tent. Takes up half the space up there, and then they have this roof box to go alongside it. So you'll have your storage and your tent. I like these guys, Bush Lapa off-road caravans. They're pretty small, but fairly spacious inside. Check this out. They're also like $40,000, but got a bed right there. Pop-up roof. Lots of storage on the side. Another little bed down here. And then here's the row of food trucks, or at least a row of food trucks. There might be a couple little areas. Corn dogs, poutine over here. We have some tacos over there. Ribs and barbecue right here. Gyros and falafel right here. You guys know I love me some falafel. Gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches, and on and on and on. It's pretty good stuff. God, I love these. This is a Ural motorcycle sidecar, and these are actually two-wheel drive. You can engage both of these wheels, and there's a ton of storage on the back of the sidecar there. Apparently these aren't the most reliable machines in the world. They're a little bit finicky, a little bit quirky, but they look awesome, and they're like $20,000. And here it is from the front. I love it. It's several hours later now. It's about 4 o'clock, and I spent 3 hours total at Overland Expo, and I'll talk more about what I thought about the event as a whole and the highlights for me in a minute. Let's start off here back at camp with the two things that I bought. So one was a pair of these straps. These are tie-down straps, and they're cam buckles, but these are called roller cams. And this is the skinny one. This is 3/4 of an inch wide by 6 feet long, and I can cut it to length, cut it to a shorter length if I need to. But this has a roller right here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but instead of just having kind of a flat, abrupt piece of metal, there's a little roller. And so you insert the end in here, and basically it just gives you much more leverage. You can tighten things down much more with these than you can with a traditional cam strap. And I thought that was a really clever idea, and that solves a real need that I know I've seen. Like, you try to tighten those cam straps, and you can get them pretty tight, but not super tight. This is one that you can get super tight. So I bought a pair of these. I think it was $18 for two. I'm going to try these out on the motorcycle when I go on multi-day motorcycle trips to strap stuff down to the back. So that was the first thing. And then the second thing is less for me and more for Cassie, more for my wife. So I saw one of the little tables, one of the little setups there that was selling potty gloves. I saw a sign that said potty glove, and I thought, that's interesting. I've never heard of that before. So let me give you a look at these. Basically, these are latex gloves with a little wipe built in around the fingers. So this is for women. And the idea is that, you're a woman outdoors, you squat down, you go to the bathroom, then you need to wipe yourself. I know that some women, like some women on multi-day backpacking trips, will have a little pee rag that they'll use to wipe themselves. But this is a glove, and so I got these for Cassie to try. Let me unroll one of them for you. So it's a glove with a little absorbent, it looks like several ply layer of material on here. So you put it on your hand, you wipe yourself, and then you kind of wrap it up. You turn the glove inside out, and this little zipper bag here has two compartments in it. One says clean pouch and one says used pouch. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know if it's really focusing right now, but you can toss a few of these into the clean pouch section. Then after you use them, put them in the used pouch section at the top here. Again, I don't know how useful this is, but I'm gonna run it by my wife, see if this is something that she would use. What I was really looking for was interesting products or interesting connections for me. Things that I can talk about on the channel or show you guys on the channel. I did make a couple of contacts, so let's move into my favorite things, the things that I thought were interesting. I did make a couple of contacts with people who make basically platforms to go in the back of an SUV. And one was like $1,800. I'll put some footage of that one here. I forget the name of the company that made it. It's a guy in Colorado that makes them. And I think that was a little bit pricey. Still interesting because not everyone wants to build a platform or figure out how to sleep in the back of their SUV. So it's good to have ready-made options like this on the market. But then there was another one that was like $400 that I think was actually pretty darn cool. It was a great design. It solved some good problems, and I'll put some footage of that one here now. I think I would like to try that one at some point in the future. And so that was very useful for me. And then I got to meet like 8 subscribers, 8 viewers that recognized me and said hi. And I brought a bunch of SUV RVing stickers today to the expo, and so I handed those out to the people that said hi to me, so that was fun. As far as the vehicles went, I wasn't really knowing what to expect. There were just a lot of vehicles that I don't really care about because they're just not my style. And, I knew that going in, but like the $200,000-$300,000, Earth Roamer, Earth Cruiser vehicles, those are cool, but like, I don't need to see 20 of them. The super high-tech, small aluminum, lightweight, teardrop style trailers that you can go overlanding with, they're cool. I didn't need to see 100 of them. The truck campers, again, super cool. I didn't really need to see 50 of them. You know what I mean? Like, there were just a lot of the same thing with, minor differences, and they're just so expensive. Like, I'm never going to spend $50,000 on a trailer. It's just not going to happen. Doesn't matter how cool the trailer is. It's fun to look at, but it satisfied my curiosity, but I didn't come away from Overland Expo wanting to buy one of those rigs or wanting to switch up from the Land Cruiser into something else. I love just the simplicity of this. This is so great. It's just a regular vehicle that you can sleep in. It's not some expedition, monstrosity that I'm gonna spend 10 years driving around the world in. I don't need that. You don't need that. We don't need that. It was good to go to remind me of the things that I like about the style of traveling that I do. Maybe that's the best way of saying it. And so having said all of that, if I were in the market for one of those big expensive overlanding rigs, then it would totally be worth going to Overland Expo. And as it was, I'm glad I went. Would I go again? Yes, but I don't think I would go too far out of my way to do it again. This was 4.5 hours from home to Overland Expo. I think that's a little bit more than I would normally do. I don't think I'm going to go again next year unless I happen to be, in Oregon, in Arizona, or in Colorado when it's already happening, and it's within a couple hours of me. It did make me think a little bit more about things that I want to do with the Land Cruiser. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So soon after buying the Land Cruiser, I put this roof box up on top. And I love having this up here. I have a similar sort of one on the RAV4. I have the solar panel on top of it. I think that's just such a good setup. But these don't last if you're doing a lot of rough roads. Like the U-bolts that go around the crossbars and then into the bottom here. And then there's like a little metal piece that gets sandwiched between there. Anyway, long story short, the plastic on the bottom of this is cracking, is breaking because of all the rough driving that I do. And I could figure out a better way to distribute the forces, but I don't know if this one is salvageable at this point. I'm going to keep using it because I don't really want to buy a new one, but like it squeaks a lot, it makes a lot of noise, and I'm not super confident that it'll survive in the long run. And so this is something I've been thinking about for several months now, and I was thinking about it more today as I was seeing all of the overlanding rigs. I might get a basket to go up here, or one of the flat metal platforms that you can strap all kinds of things to. And so I was looking at like aluminum and heavy duty plastic storage containers that you can mount to the roof of your car, mount to the rack or the platform that you have up there. That's something that I might do in the future. But I love having this. I love that I can just dump all of my stuff into this cavernous void on top of the car. It's so useful to have. So I don't know, maybe I can find a more heavy duty one, but we'll see. And then the second thing that I was thinking about was, so I have the motorcycle with me on this trip. This is a pretty good hitch carrier. It's just heavy. This is the 600-pound capacity one from Harbor Freight. This is the steel one. It weighs like 100 pounds. It's very heavy to put on and take off. I would like a lighter one, and so at the expo today, I saw a super heavy duty aluminum one that weighed like 50 pounds, or like 52, something like that. And I'll show you some footage of it here. It had a spot for a gas can, and the ramp was built in. So the ramp was built into this part, so you can just pull it out, put it down, and then, you know, ride the motorcycle off or on. With this one, I have to remove the ramp. This is the ramp here. And so I have to, you know, unstrap everything. Right now I have a 2-gallon gas can on it. And it's just more of a faff, more of a hassle than the one that I saw today. But that one was like $1,200 or $1,300. This was $200. And so I'm not feeling too bad. This is still a good heavy duty hitch. I just think I would like something that I can put on and take off by myself, because this one I really need Cassie to help me put this on and off the car. But the one that weighs half this much, that's aluminum, I could do myself. And there are aluminum ones that you can buy, you know, on Amazon, and I think even Harbor Freight sells another one that's aluminum. But I'm, you know, I need one that's heavy duty. I'm worried that I would, if I bought a cheap one off of Amazon and then go, you know, drive out onto dirt roads, that I would just break the thing. And so I want one that's heavy duty, and that one was, and that's something that I might consider getting in the future if I stick with this whole motorcycling thing. We'll see. The thing that has always sort of bothered me about the overlanding community, and I've mentioned this in videos before, is just the obsession with high-tech stuff, with expensive gear, lots of gear, and that just really turns me off. It just doesn't appeal to me. That's not, you know, I like gear. Gear is fun, but when it's just needlessly expensive, needlessly fancy gear, it's just, I don't know, it's just off-putting for me. I don't know if you guys feel the same. And so I like events like the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous that I go to every January in Arizona. By the way, while we're on the subject of that, well, let me finish my thought. I like that event because it's like, it's more normal people doing normal things in their vehicles, you know? They aren't, I mean, there are some, you know, kind of fancier, bigger vehicles, but a lot of DIY rigs, a lot of homemade vans, a lot of people, you know, sleeping in cars. That's much more interesting to me than the hardcore overland stuff, which is fun, just a little bit unnecessary, I think. Anyway, going back to Arizona, Cassie and I are going to be snowbirding in Arizona for a month. We're going to be spending 5 weeks at least on the road this upcoming January. We're going to be spending a week in St. George, Utah with my wife's sister, who's going to be moving down there. And then we're going to be spending 4 weeks in, I think it's Bullhead City, Arizona, which is kind of near Laughlin, Nevada area, north of Lake Havasu City, south of Las Vegas. we are renting a house for a month, basically, and gonna go film a bunch of videos there. You know, I go to Arizona every winter, and I spend 2 or 3 weeks there. And we were thinking, you know, this time, let's all go down together. So Cassie, Bowser, and I, we're all gonna go down to Arizona for a month, and it should be fun. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to update you guys on. It's 4:30 right now, got about 4 hours of daylight left. I might go down the mountain. There's a meadow and a creek down here, like half a mile over this way, that I might hike to. Maybe I'll try to fish it. I'm going to be spending tomorrow fishing in this area. I'm looking forward to it. But I think that today, maybe I just want to relax. I don't know, but hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. If you've been to an Overland Expo before, let me know what you thought about it. I'm interested in hearing your guys' thoughts. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. And I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.